if it does come back positive, it's a pretty good likelihood that that's what we had back in March.
Right. Wow.
Good morning.
We haven't started in the car in a long time.
It's true.
We are on our way to the hospital. I am getting blood work this morning. Peter's getting blood work later this afternoon at a different place. My blood work is in relation to, it's follow-up blood work to make sure my liver and my body in general is handling Trikafta still. So that's one reason that I need blood work. Number two is they want to run the antibody test. You guys know I tested negative for COVID-19, you know, like 2 months ago when I was so sick. Of course, testing isn't always accurate, so my team still isn't sure if I had COVID-19 or not. And the interesting thing is, this antibody test might come back negative for me even if I had COVID-19, because you guys know my immune system is really weird, and it might not, I might not have made the antibodies even if I have had COVID-19. So,
which is interesting because when I'm getting tested this afternoon, and so that might be a more accurate test of whether we, again, if it comes back positive, it doesn't necessarily mean that what we had was COVID. There's other ways you can get antibodies, so it's not a like completely perfect test. But if it does come back positive, it's a pretty good likelihood that that's what we had back in March.
Right. So I am going to put my mask on and go in alone, because when, you know, this whole thing has been happening, no, like, you go in alone, basically. So I'm gonna go in, get blood work. I will be back, and see ya.
We'll see you then.
See you then.
So it looks like they have a screening station there at the entrance, and somebody before Mary's checking in. I think she just signaled that she has to poop. So Mary just came and said that she's still waiting there, but that she's watching the people in front of her, and they're taking their temperatures and answering questions and that sort of thing. So, crazy times we're living in.
Okay, finished that, and feeling a little bit confused, a little bit frustrated, because I thought that one of the main reasons we were doing this was to get the antibody testing, and there wasn't an order for it. I'm not sure yet why that is, or I'm not sure. But either way, it's truly more important to see Peter's antibody test, because his body, if either of us are gonna make antibodies, his would have. So that would have told us, which it doesn't change really anything going forward.
It would just be good to know.
Yeah, and also encouraging for my team, because we've all been like, wow, that was really rough, but I made it through. And so if it was potentially COVID, it would be kind of a moment of celebration. And then secondly, it would, of course, I most likely won't have the antibodies, but
although sometimes you have shown antibodies, so
yes,
but
it's
that's
true.
Most likely to IVIG, so I don't know.
Either way, it's good that the timing of getting back on immunoglobulin therapy, that's good. It's no guarantee, but it's just kind of another layer of intentional, possibly preventative, kind of like we're doing what we can, we're putting the tools on the belt, the tools that we can. So anyway, all of that to be said, I did not get the antibody test, but we got my liver tests and all of that, and we haven't.
Which we need to see. So.
Oh yeah, totally.
In vain that you got blood work.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, no. Like we definitely needed to see that, and also, I'm curious. You guys remember how I had to do the Neupogen shot? We saw my blood work recovered, like my bone marrow, my whites, my platelets. Wait, my platelets did come up a bit. the Neupogen doesn't necessarily help with that, but anyway, about 3 days after I did the Neupogen shot, they did follow-up blood work. We saw that that recovered, but we haven't seen it since then, so about 2 months. So that'll be curious to see, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and kind of back to the antibody testing thing. I think because I didn't get tested for COVID, and part of that was it was before there was testing like accessible here in North Carolina, and I would have had to go to the ER to get tested, and that just didn't seem smart to us.
Yeah.
In the midst of, number one, both of us being sick, and number two, when things were starting to spread, it was like, if this isn't COVID, we don't want to catch COVID.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and ultimately, there wasn't a whole lot to do. Like, we made it through, and that was that.
yeah, and I think what I was going to say was, if we had both gotten tested and it was negative, like, I think we would pretty much have ruled out, like that would be a double confirmation that it wasn't. But because Mary only got tested, we're still curious if it could have been.
And there was, the testing. We have a friend who works kind of on the front lines and is able to like update us on kind of the state of affairs. And so it's been interesting to listen from that person as testing has progressed, as testing procedures are different now than they were when I was tested. And all of that, when I was tested, it was like 3 to 5 days to hear the results, and now in some places it's within hours. So it's just interesting, you know, as we do, we learn as we go, right? And that goes for all the testing as well. So anyway, just taking it one step at a time, did this blood work, and we will do Peter's later this afternoon and just keep on going. Our caution remains the same. We still aren't, like, I haven't been in a store since March 5th. And that, we're not sure when that'll change. I'm excited for the day, but for now, we're remaining cautious, and that's all we can do.
Yeah. And for the foreseeable future, we will, because I think time is only going to tell what re-entry into society is going to do to the spread, and so we're being cautious, and there isn't proven like data that the antibody like if we had it, like that makes us immune to getting it again, and so we're still gonna be just as cautious.
And basically it's taking the next step with the knowledge that you have. And also acknowledging that the knowledge that we currently have, you know, there's a lot of kind of information on both sides about the antibody thing. And so just kind of saying, ultimately we don't really know, but with what we do know, we're just gonna keep being cautious or whatever. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Oh yeah.
I knew I was lost, and death and darkness were my only song. I needed someone to come rescue me when mercy heard my plea. Lord, you found me. I heard back from my team, and the reason the blood work wasn't ordered is because Duke isn't doing the antibody testing yet. So she said that we'll get that blood work whenever that's available through Duke. Peter's doing it through somewhere else, not through Duke, so that's why his will be taken today. So that's that. And I'm having an arugula salad. I saw a picture of a salad on Pinterest, and I kind of made it up with what we had. I had that homemade salad dressing that I made a couple of weeks ago, and it's like balsamic and avocado oil and some honey and that sort of thing. And I have some arugula, some what are those, craisins and cashews, and I had a similar salad last night with pears on it, and so good. So I'm gonna go eat my kale, or it's arugula, not kale, arugula salad. Random fact, did you know that when I started having kidney stones, the doctors, you know, this was like 10 years ago, recommended that I don't have a lot of rhubarb, chocolate, and dark leafy greens, so things like spinach and arugula and kale and that sort of thing. So I don't eat a whole ton of this, but like a bowl of it is totally fine and that's healthy. But if I were to eat a humongous salad of it every single day, that could potentially lead to more kidney stones, because the type of kidney stones that my body gets are, I believe it's called oxalate, and those foods are high in oxalates. Who knew? Yes, I just tried these. I approve. Yes. Peter is not used to getting blood work, and that is totally, that's a good thing. That means he hasn't needed to get it very often, but that also means that it's, I mean, they're gonna stab you, and that's not very exciting or fun. So I'm definitely gonna go with him and sit in the car as his cheerleader and then celebrate that it's done when he comes out. Hey look, here's the evidence that I ate pistachios a little while ago. Guess I'll take those with me to the garbage can, and then we're gonna get ready and head out for his blood work. That is pretty cool, the way that this lab is doing it.
You check in on your phone once you get here, so you don't have to go in, and then they just text you when they're ready to suck your blood.
The way mine did it, I still didn't wait like in a waiting room or anything, but it was like if you have an appointment, if they're not ready for you, you go back to your car, but mine was just lab work, so they just took me back.
Bach.
I think I had a little thing in my
esophagus.
So you're gonna do it up here?
Yeah. Guys, I got into poison sumac again.
Which we didn't realize that poison sumac could be a tree.
Yeah, so it was when I was like climbing the fence to water the grass and not walk on the grass.
Right.
I was like going through, and it's our neighbor's tree, so I wasn't even thinking about it. Cause like I had basically taken out all the poison sumac in our yard.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't thinking about. Anyways,
it was like higher than the fence.
Yeah, I was all up in it.
Yeah.
So it's like all over my arm. So I'm like,
I don't know where they're gonna take the blood, but they'll figure it out. Okay.
Here we go.
Love you.
Love you.
Toodles poodles. So it took just about 20 minutes, and now he's ready to go in. And?
I did it.
Was it bad?
Yeah.
Did it hurt?
No. Just like a prick.
Good job.
Easy peasy. That's like, what, like the 6th time in my life I've gotten blood work.
I know. But it's kind of like, it's like when I had to give that Neupogen shot. And like it was my first time ever, but like some people do it multiple times a day, like with other kinds of shots.
Right.
And it's like, well, it's, if you haven't done it before, or not a lot, it's intimidating. But anyway, good job.
Thank you.
Just what you want to do for your birthday. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow's my birthday.
Was it okay that you had poison ivy?
Yeah.
Did they say something?
She's like, which arm? I was like, probably this one because it has less poison sumac on it. And she's like, oh, okay.
Cool.
All right, we're back home and making some dinner. Where I did some chicken, sizzled it in the pan with some seasoning. We have sauteed beet tops and some pasta that we're doing in the pan after the chicken.
With so just like the crispy bits in the bottom?
Yeah, so it's soaking up the flavor.
Oh.
And Mary's got some asparagus in the toaster oven, and we're gonna put it all together and have a delicious meal. All right, here's what we got. And Mary got me some fresh jalapenos, so I am sizzling up some in the pan that we did everything in. and I'm just gonna have that in with my pasta. Dinner was delicious.
I have a surprise for you.
You have a surprise?
Pudding.
Oh, what's the surprise about it?
Well, this one's frozen.
Oh, really? Oh, that'll be good. It'll be like frozen.
I think my grandmother used to freeze the little pudding cups.
It's like ice cream, you know?
These two are going for a walk. I'm staying back today. I'm not gonna go with you, sorry.
Plus it's raining, so that's no fun.
Yeah.
But
when we see you guys again, it's going to be Peter's birthday. I'm so excited. I feel like it feels a little extra special because we're just like home and celebrating and we're not like busy,
yeah,
you know, running about.
It's true.
But anyway, we're excited to celebrate tomorrow. And as always,
we'll see you tomorrow.
Good night. Good night. Did you know it's gonna be Peter's birthday tomorrow? You're gonna go take a walk? Have a nice walk. Happy birthday.